Have you ever thought about selling it yourself?
Let's go. All right. So we are continuing on the topic of that of pre-qualification. And again, for those of you that are joining us here for the very first time, we're kind of at the midway point, probably like a third of the way in regards to the pre-qualification. And as far as pre-qual is concerned, what are we talking about? We're not talking about necessarily buyers. We are talking about sellers. Why is pre-qualification of sellers important? It's important because it allows us the opportunity to understand their motivation, know what potential objections. Therefore, we are taking more listings. Do you want more listings? This is what you got to pay attention to. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's continue with where we left off. Again, for those of you that are here right at 7:30, I just want to take a minute to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being on time. I am always grateful for those of you that continue to show up on time and show up here and be with me. At the same point in time, thank you for all of you that are joining us over on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, all of the other platforms. Thank you so much. I'm going to encourage you to come join us over here on Zoom as usual, as we're going to be doing a little bit more role playing today. So I want to get a little bit more in depth in regards to that. Okay. So, all right, let's pick up with where we left off. If you have any questions, feel free, go ahead and just simply ask away, type them in. And again, if you're on the other platforms, feel free to type them in. We'll get those questions addressed. And then Lizette will be joining me here any minute. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the where we left off. We mentioned last week about keeping the script with you at all times. Just very brief. Now, as far as the script is concerned, why am I asking of you to keep this with you at all times? I'm asking of you to keep this with you at all times simply because of the fact that you never ever know when you're going to be in that position. You never know when you're going to be in a position where you're basically get a seller. And I get it. What do you mean 911 seller? Sometimes it does happen. Sometimes you're on vacation. Sometimes, your day off. Sometimes you're with your family and, you do get a phone call, you get a referral, you get somebody that is saying, hey, I could really use your help. We're in a position where we do need to sell our home. Can you help us? And you never know when that's going to be. It's just an emergency and just be ready. Okay. Where can you keep it? Well, maybe on an online platform like Google Docs, maybe having it in your Apple or Droid notes, maybe have a photo of it, have a paper version of it, and always have it accessible so that you can be at the ready. Of course, have one at your desk, have one basically with wherever it is, because in that, why do we do this? Again, let's repeat this part. We do this because we want to identify their motivation and potentially any objections that you're going to come across. And the more information you have about this, the better presenter you become. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, okay, as I always ask my coaching clients, as I always ask my audience, there's three things, and I want you guys to participate. Okay, I want you guys to participate. There's three things that's going to help you take more listings. Okay, and I'm going to give you three options: option A, option B, option C. What's option A? Option A is pre-qualifying. Option B is being a stronger presenter. Number three is being a stronger closer. Of those three, which do you think is going to help improve your listing appointment, listing taken ratio? Let me repeat myself and let me make myself clear. You go on 10 listing appointments. You're averaging about 4 or 5 listings taken. Now, how do we go from 4 or 5, which is a 40-50% ratio, and increase that into 6, 7, 8, or even 9? How do we go from 40 to 80%? Is it A, pre-qualification, B, your listing presentation skills, or C, is it that of your closing skills? If I could just get a little bit of participation, what do you guys think?
All the above.
All of the above. Okay, and prequel is the other answer. Anybody else?
Pre-qualify.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Super proud of my audience. Because most of the time I usually get number 3 as closing skills. And the answer is actually pre-qualification. Okay. Now, how much, if we were to put a pie chart of this, how important is pre-qualification in that pie chart? About 80%. Let me share with you why. You go through, you pre-qualify. You know their motivation. You know any potential objections. You're competing with other realtors. They asked you how much are you charging in commission. Now what it does is it gives you the opportunity to be able to sprinkle that into your presentation. Therefore, you become a stronger presenter. You know what their motivation is. Have you ever gotten the response of, let me think it over? Have you ever gotten the response of, I appreciate you coming by, I'll get back to you? How about anything other than signing the contract? I'm going to give you guys all a quick close. This is a powerful close. This is the doctrine of closing. This is something that I use for a long period of time. So I'm going to encourage you, write this down, pay attention, bust out your recorders, and listen to this close. Okay? Lizette, can I get you to unmute real quick?
Yes.
There we go. All right. So in this, just tell me you're going to think it over. Give me resistance. I don't care what 3 objections you give me. Don't give me the opportunity until I get the 3 objections. You surprise me. Okay. So Lizette, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract, and then we can get you over to San Diego. Do me a favor. Go ahead and sign right there, please.
Yeah, Robert, you know what? Everything looked great. I really need to, sleep on this. We are considering a few other options.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I completely understand where you're coming from, Lizette. It's a big decision. I mean, your decision, though, does rely on you selling this home and getting over to San Diego, correct?
Right.
Okay, so let's think out loud. 2 minds are better than 1. What is it that you're thinking about? Maybe I can help you through the thought process.
I mean, well, we don't really know what the other agents are offering.
Okay, got it. So there are other agents that might be a possibility that I'm competing with. Is that the case?
Right.
Okay, how many other realtors am I competing with, by the way?
Just one other one.
Okay, got it. And is this a person that you already spoke with, or you're going to be speaking with?
No, we haven't spoken with them just yet.
Okay, got it. Now I totally understand with where you're coming from, Lizette. Now, I must take a minute to apologize to you. Can I apologize to you?
Sure.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're probably asking, what in the world? Why are you apologizing to me? Lizette, yesterday when we spoke on the phone, I asked you if what I say makes sense. You feel comfortable. You feel confident that I can sell your home. You were planning on listing your home with me when I come out today. Was that not the case?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so I lost you somewhere in the process in the last 20 minutes. Now I am curious, is it the price?
No.
Okay, was it the commission?
I don't know.
Okay, the only other thing would be basically myself. Was it something that maybe I said?
No.
Got it. Okay, so at this point in time, if I'm hearing correctly, it sounds as if though there might be a little bit of reservation based on the fees that we're talking about. Is that the case?
I mean, we really just got to make the most money out of this one. And we just want to see what's available.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So, and that's the reason I'm apologizing to you, because I was under the impression when I came out today that we were going to be ready to make a decision. I didn't even know about there being another agent. Now, let's look this over, okay? Because I think we're not too far off in regards to the price. We're both on the same page that 500,000 is going to cause your home to sell. Would you agree?
Right.
Okay, so and then you net basically you owe just a little under 300,000, and you're going to net right about 200,000. Now, are you saying you're expecting a little bit more in terms of the your bottom line?
I mean, I don't know. I think we're just trying to see our options. But I mean, I love everything that you presented.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that, Lizette. I mean, I know you have mentioned to me that you wanted an agent that was going to be aggressive in getting your home sold, correct?
Right.
Now, you also mentioned to me that your goal is to get over to San Diego. And from my understanding, you're wanting to be there before August 1st because the kids are going to be starting school there. Is that the case?
Yes.
And then last but not least, you basically made at least the commitment to me yesterday that there was going to be, as long as I can align all the stars for you, that we were ready to make that decision. So let's come together to terms, because in this, there is something that's sticking out in your mind that is causing you not to move forward. So I am curious, Lizette, let's be honest. Let's just put all the cards on the table. Is it the percentage of the commission, or is it the net in regards to how much you're walking away from?
It's just all of the fees.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything different, that the other person might bring to the table.
Yeah. And I totally get that. And let's say, for example, Lizette, they do offer a discount. Can I share with you why that would even make me nervous?
Sure.
Well, see, here's the thing, Lizette, is if their only option is to reduce their commission, which is the money that they put in their pocket, the gas that they put in their car, the food that they put on their table, and that's their money, Lizette, how strong do you think they're going to be in defending you and the price that we already agreed to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, Lizette. The very first thing that most agents that do that use with what is called a discount brokerage. What they basically do is as easily as it would be for them to discount their commission. Just imagine how easy, and they're going to be doing everything in their power to convince you to take the first and best offer, or first offer, I should say.
Right.
Yeah, Lizette, I don't do that. What I do is I'm going to maximize your profits. So if there's an extra penny, an extra dollar, or an extra $1,000 that anyone can get you, it's going to be a realtor like myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we'll do, with your permission, of course. What I'd like to do is, if I can net you $200,000, I only feel as if though it's fair for me to get compensated for a full commission. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Right.
Now, if I can't get you $200,000, what we can do is we can talk a little bit about a discount. But we'll talk about that, and we can cross that bridge if that opportunity ends up arising. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that does sound fair.
Okay, so then let's do this. Here's what I want to do, Lizette, because obviously, as you mentioned, you wanted an aggressive realtor. You wanted to maximize your profits. You wanted to make sure that it was going to be an agent that was going to be thorough throughout the entire process and tell you everything that it takes to get the home sold. Do you now feel as if though I am that agent?
Yes.
So here's what I'm going to do, Lizette. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the other realtor that you were anticipating. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to give us a win-win-win opportunity. How am I going to do that? I'm going to call the other realtor and simply say, hey, just to FYI, Lizette decided to hire me as a realtor, but what she wanted me to do, she wanted me to reach out to you so that you can bring all of your potential buyers. And heck, you know what? I'll even give them the opportunity to do the first open house. Would you be okay if I gave them that opportunity?
Sure.
All right, Lizette, let's do the right thing. Let's simply sign the contract. I'm going to get you over to San Diego. Let's get your kids, make sure that we get them enrolled and we get you there in efficient time. And let's maximize your profits. Lizette, do me a favor. Sign right there, please. All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Was that okay? Now, here's the thing. I won't be able to do that unless I know the motivation. What I did is with what is called an isolation close. Okay. I apologize about the ambulance in the background. It has nothing to do with me. So what that is called is an isolation close. And in an isolation close, I won't know that, number one, unless I pre-qualified. Number two, if you remember, or if you notice, I went back and asked Lizette, if I remember correctly yesterday when we spoke on the phone and I asked you the questions, you mentioned that if what I said makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident, you were planning on listing your home with me. Somewhere in the process, I lost you. So now I'm basically putting it back on her and say, hey, you're the one that committed to me. Hopefully that makes sense. So Lizette, any insights, anything from there?
Yeah, I did see that. I noticed that you did isolate the possible, maybe the objections as far as the fees, or was it you, or you gave me another option, but it was kind of just isolating the actual issue. And what has worked for me, which I know this is kind of like that beginner strategy, but it's worked for me, but it's something that you did, was to continuously get yeses in between. So you mentioned this is what you're wanting. Yes. Yes. Okay. And then you just continue getting the yeses to lead to the final yes.
Yeah, and that's what's called the 3 yes close, just so that everybody knows that there's a specific strategy. It's yes, 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 close. So, and, Lizette does an amazing job of that when we're out there, talking to clients, and she's doing the exact same thing, getting yeses, getting yeses, getting yeses. But you want to make sure you're doing it in a strategic manner. So yes, yes, yes. And you can ask whatever questions. It really doesn't, in a sense, matter. I mean, you do want to get this property sold as quickly as you possibly can, correct? You do want the most amount of money, correct? You do want the process to be as smooth and as seamless as you possibly can, correct? Perfect. Let's do the right thing and sign the contract. You do want to start your kids by the time the new school year starts, correct? Now, you do want the maximum amount of sale on your home, correct? You do want to make sure that the appraisal comes in, correct? Perfect. Sign the contract. It doesn't matter. Just get 3 yeses and then find ourselves in a position where we can close. Any questions? I don't know if you had any other insights, Lizette, that you wanted to share.
No, I think that would be it. I do that strategically, just getting there. Wouldn't you agree? Or, this is what you were looking for, but we know that they were going to say yes. So that makes a big difference. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, perfect. So unless the audience has any other questions, I'm going to go over a couple more points and then we're going to get into role play. So
I have a question.
Do it.
So what if they, during the pre-qual, they told you that they are going to interview another agent? So you already know going
Let's
in
role
that
play
they're
that.
going to,
Let's role play that. So, Deborah, I'm so excited. I'm really super excited about the fact that I get the opportunity to work with a smart seller like yourself. Can I share with you why?
yes.
Yeah, so you're going through the process as thorough as you possibly can, and you already mentioned you're going to be interviewing other realtors. I am curious though, Deborah, how many realtors are you looking to interview before you make a decision?
Well, I have at least one other.
Okay, and now did you already interview them or will you be interviewing them after me?
No, I have another appointment after you.
Ah, perfect. Okay, so there's myself, there's another realtor. Besides the two of us, would you need a third and or a fourth opinion before you make a decision?
Well, we've already spoken to one, but we're not interested in moving forward with him.
Got it. Okay, so we already have one that's been interviewed. You really don't like that option. There's myself and one other person. I'm curious though, Deborah, what is it that you're looking for in your realtor, just to make sure that I'm on the same page?
Well, I'm looking for someone that is experienced and know the area and can get my house sold.
Okay,
That's my primary objective.
got it. So has the experience, knows the area, and of course, most importantly, is getting your home sold. Is that correct?
Yes.
So would it be safe to say that you want somebody that has a proven track record?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, would it also be safe to say that you want to make sure, not only in the proven track record, you want to make sure that they have a very specific plan of action on how they're going to attack the sale of your home? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And because of all of this, you want to make sure you maximize your profits.
Yes.
Now, what I want to do, Deborah, is I want to make sure that all of those things align when we meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Now, if I can give you all of the things that you need in order to make a sound decision tomorrow, if all the stars align, would you be in a position to make a decision tomorrow when I meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock?
Um, yes, but I still have I do have that appointment. I just want to make sure again that I'm hiring the right person.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't want you to do anything otherwise. And that's why it is important to be thorough, which I love the fact that you are a smart seller going through the entire process. Now, here's the thing, Deborah, is at the end of my presentation tomorrow, unless I can prove to you that I am exactly the type of agent you're looking for, I wouldn't even want to ask you for the contract to be signed. Now, what I want to do though, Deborah, is I want to be able to put us in a position where there can be a win-win-win opportunity. Can I explain a little further?
Sure.
Now, if I find, if you find yourself in a position where you feel, because sometimes we have that, this is our person. If I happen to be that person and you have that gut feeling, what I'd like the opportunity to do is put a position to where I can help you sell this home. The other agent that you're anticipating, I can always partner with them in an opportunity to where they can bring all of their potential buyers. And heck, I'll even give them the opportunity to do some open houses. And then that way you can be in a position where you get the best representation possible so that you can make the most amount of money, because that is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Deborah, I look forward to speaking with you, your husband, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And I want to make sure I'm going through the entire process as I possibly can to make sure you make a sound decision.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then tomorrow, we're going to go through, and just the isolation close that I did with Lizette is the exact same thing. I'm going to go through that again and again and again and again. And unless there's something that I'm not hearing or is being said from the other realtor about a discount, or they already promised them that they can list it for $50,000 or $100,000 more, well, at that point in time, it's going to be up to me whether I want to overpromise, underdeliver. And even then, I'm going to go through. The very first thing I'm going to tell them is, Deborah, Mr. Patton, if what I say makes sense, you guys do feel comfortable. You guys are planning on moving forward, correct? Yes. Okay, perfect. Now, do I have your permission to tell you the truth, nothing but the truth, to make sure that whatever it is that it's going to take to get your home sold? Do I have your permission? Okay, perfect. So I want to make sure that I'm not telling you what you want to hear, because there's a lot of realtors that will tell you what you want to hear, and that's where we invest time, or sorry, not invest time. We waste time on being on the market. And if I remember correctly, your goal is to be over to Arlington by this time frame. Isn't that the case? And then I go through the 3 yes close. Okay, good. All right. So I think we had another question. I don't know if there was another question from somebody else. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Robert, quick question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You mentioned about the track record. What if an agent don't have like a lot of listing to show, but have some record so above asking? How do you want to mention it, or you just ignore and just focus on the plan of action?
Well, ideally, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to necessarily ignore it, but what I am going to do is ignore it. In other words, I'm not going to bring it up unless they bring it up. Now, if at the very end, let's say for an example, they sit there and say, well, we'll let you know. Well, I'm going to go through the isolation close. I'm going to go through all this other stuff. And sometimes number 3, is it me? Well, we don't know if you really have the track record. I mean, you haven't really shown us anything. You mentioned to us, as far as the other agent is concerned. Now I'm going to go the complete opposite. And the complete opposite is, look, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. You had mentioned that you're going to be interviewing Ann Tran. She is an absolutely amazing realtor. And I'm not going to lie to you. There's no way I'm going to be able to compete with her track record. But I'm going to tell you what, though, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is that there's nobody that's going to be more aggressive. There's nobody that's going to work harder for you. And I get it. You are taking a chance on me. But I'm going to do everything in my power to get your home sold. And I get it. You do have Anne as a potential option, and she is an amazing option. I don't want to deny that. However, with Anne, you're really going to be just another line item on her whiteboard. Now, do you want to be just another listing with Anne? Or would you rather have an agent that's going to invest all of their time, energy, effort, and wants nothing more than to break ground in this neighborhood, because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. I mean, isn't that the type of agent that you would rather have? Okay, so I'm going to be honest with them, is basically what I'm going to do. So if you don't have that track record, I would encourage you, just go with the flow. Trust me, I've been there. My first $1 million listing, I was going up against this person, this person, and this person. Well, how many $1 million listings have you sold? I've never have. Well, this person has sold like 50 of them. This one's been in the business for like 20 years. This one, they're the neighborhood expert. I get that. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, there's nobody that's going to be more aggressive. I mean, how did we meet? Yeah, exactly. I knocked on your door. When you hire me, I'm going to do the exact same thing. As a matter of fact, the moment that you sign that contract, I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to ask all of your neighbors. Now, did any of the other realtors mention that they were going to be doing that? No, that's not what they do, because they solely rely on their track record. They put a sign up, they get on their hands and their knees and they pray. That's what they do. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I am different. Okay. And I'm trying to break into this community, and I'm hoping that you see exactly the sincerity with what I'm trying to accomplish here. Okay. And I know I can sell this home for you. Okay. Yes, you're right. I've never sold $1 million home, but I've sold many $600,000, $700,000, and $800,000 homes. And one thing that I've noticed, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is a lot of those sellers end up moving into homes like yours. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let's do the right thing. Okay. I get it. I don't have that track record. But all I can tell you is I'm going to give you my integrity, and I'm going to give you my hard work, which is, of course, the best work ethic you can hire. Okay, so let's do the right thing. Sign the contract. Let's get started and put me to work. And at that point in time, I'm just sitting there saying a prayer and saying, God, please let them sign. And then little by little, you're going to start to win them over. Okay, now out of 10, maybe you only get 1 signed. Cool, awesome. But as you start to build your track record, the 10 ends up becoming 3. The 3 becomes 5. The 5 becomes 6, becomes 7, becomes 8. So we all got to start somewhere. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Anything else of anywhere else? Sorry. My phone just fell. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into some scripts. I know I am super duper on my soapbox today, but hopefully you guys are seeing a little bit of with what experience comes into play. And obviously, like I said, I'll go pound for pound for anybody in regards to skills is concerned. So let me share the script. Let me get somebody to participate, and then we'll go through just a very, very quick opening. And unless anybody has any other questions. All right, so let's go ahead and get, let me get a participant. I'm going to share the script here in 10 seconds. So who's going to go? Come on, people.
I will go.
Let's do it. Thank you, Deborah, for stepping up. All right, let's go.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Robert.
Deborah, hey, good morning.
Hi, Robert. How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good. Now, I promised you before I come out. That's not true. I got it. Already starting off wrong. Sorry. Before I come out, Before I come out, there are a few questions that I have for you. Do you have a few minutes to uh, review them now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. Now, Robert, if what I share makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident in my ability to sell your home, are you prepared to list your home with me when I come out tomorrow at 6?
I think so. At the end of the day, it really is just going to be whether or not we can make this move based on the amount of money we're making.
Okay, so you're basically looking. You want to know the bottom line, what your net profit's going to be at the end of this process.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right, perfect. Now, do you? I don't want to assume, but are you planning to interview any other agents other than myself for the sale of your home?
No, I can't really say. I mean, ultimately, you came highly recommended. So right now, it really would just be you.
Perfect. Now, Robert, tell me, where are you planning to move to?
Well, we want to stay in the area, but we're really in a position where we're just wanting to downsize. We just feel as if though it's a little bit too much home for us at this moment.
Okay, so you're looking to downsize and you want to stay in the same area. Is that right?
Correct, exactly.
Okay, all right. How much smaller do you want to go? How much downsizing do you?
Well, I mean, we got the 4 bedrooms, we got the 3 baths. We're about 27, 20, almost 2,800 square feet. We got the half acre. We don't need that much lot. I'm okay with the size of the home. I'd like to be closer to 21, 2,200 because we still entertain. We still have the kids come over for, the holidays and all. But ideally, we could go from a 4 to like a 3 bedroom. And I'm okay with the 3 baths. Baths are always a good necessity, especially when you have guests come over. So just a little bit less home, especially on the lot.
Okay, okay. So you're good with 3 or 4 bedrooms. It's primarily the lot size that you want to reduce.
A little bit on the lots, well, a lot on the lot size, but a little bit on the house size too. It's a little bit much.
Okay, okay, understand. Now, how soon do you want to make that move?
I mean, not really in a dire rush. I mean, it's not like as if that we have any pressing items or anything of that nature. I think if anything, if we were to put a time frame, we just want to make sure that we're established, in our new home for the coming holidays.
Okay, okay. So you want to be there for the holidays.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, when I see you, do you have a price in mind that you want to list your home for?
I mean, we were hoping to get right around 8, maybe 825 would be nice.
Okay, 825. Now, what price won't you go below, Robert?
I don't really know if we'd go into the 700s. I really think that 800 is probably where we would go the lowest.
Okay, so you want to kind of stay around target around the 800 range.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. We'll stop right there for the sake of time. So thank you so much,
Okay.
Deborah, for really participating. So let me give you some critique, but let me actually have Lizette go first. Lizette, what is some critique that we can give Deborah?
I think she's getting a lot better. I think she's getting a lot better with asking the questions. I think you asked a good amount of questions, like in between the questions. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you go. I think she did great.
Yeah, I think Lizette's absolutely right, Deborah. You're definitely getting better. I think the one thing that I did like is the fact that there was, of course, that nervous energy, and I get it. I understand going in front of all of these people is not always the easiest, but it is important that we put ourselves in this position because the uncomfortness is gonna show up. The random stranger, the $2 million listing, the what's it called, the person that's going to be interviewing multiple realtors, all of these people, the person from the open house, the door knocking. I finally got a listing. All of these people. It is nerve wracking. So you started to ease into it. So how do we ease into it faster? The way we ease into it faster, and this is not only for Deborah, but this is for everybody else. This is the importance, as I talk about over and over and over and over, and I can do 50 more overs, is practice. We have to practice. If we don't practice, guess what we are doing? We are actually practicing. The problem is we're practicing people. And we're practicing on our people. We're doing a little bit of the hiccups, the stumbling out the gates, all of this, oh shoot, why did I say that? type of stuff. Okay. But Deborah, thank you for participating. You started to get into that groove. I just need you to get that groove right out the gate. The moment that a person says hello, boom, you jump right into your groove. Does that make sense?
Yes. And one area where I'm challenged is because I practice the Mike Ferry script. I know the Mike and I want to go in that direction, and I know I need to go with your script. So,
well, here's what I'm going to say, Deborah, because 25 years with Mike, nothing against it. Use the script. Okay. Words are just words. What I want you to do is I want you to get comfortable. But here within I say that, I want to make sure that people don't go sideways. And I want to make sure I wrap it up with this. When you start to use your own words, we have this tendency of butchering the script. Okay. Mike's made hundreds and hundreds of millionaires. I have no problem with that. Okay. Now, as far as the scripts that I use, it's nothing more than what I use personally for the last 20 plus years. Okay. And it's not so much in a sense watered down. It's just a little bit of the triggers because again, I've gotten the, why are you saying that? The hesitations, the reservations, the, oh shoot, I better not say that. So I started to little by little started to trim that fat for Robert. Okay. So either way, I just want to encourage you, just continue practicing, continue working at it. And if that works better for you, have at it. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. All right. So I always want to start and stop on time. So thank you again, everybody, for showing up and being here. Now, I do want to extend an invitation for all the people that are in Central Valley. Okay. As you guys know, I obviously have my own coaching company. I'm not going to sell you guys on coaching right now. What I want to do is I want to invite you tomorrow. Okay. I am doing a free in Visalia. Okay. The Foundation Silver. What is a Foundation Silver? So basically what it is no different than any of the other coaches out there, is an in-person event that I'm going to be doing for free at Vero Mortgage in Visalia. Okay, that's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just send me a DM. Okay, and again, it's a free event. It's an entire day, 9 to 4, and we're going to be going over a lot of topics. Okay, we did that last month in Rancho Cucamonga. So I want to encourage you, if you can make it out to Visalia, you're going to be my guest. Just send me a DM. That way I know to expect you because I'm going to be printing material only for the people that are anticipating on attending. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Let's be bright and early, 7:30. I'll see you guys then. Have a powerful one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Robert.